Kostaki from Netflix movie Bleach.
I'm sorry, what happened?
I saw the guy playing Ichiro Kurosaki from Netflix movie Bleach.
Yeah. Wait, you saw the guy?
Yeah,
The actor?
the actor, Sota Fukushi.
Yes, and I dubbed over him. Did you hear that? Yeah. I dubbed over him, yeah. I thought he did a good job. It was fun. I was entertained. A friend of mine directed the action stuff. He also did DMC. He directed, the Devil May Cry stuff. More of a statement than a question.
Alright, so William, this is a question for Sun One. So John Bosch, you were a Power Ranger, right? But Sun One, if you could be any color Power Ranger, what would you pick?
If I could be any color Power Ranger?
Yeah.
Well, I think Howard should also answer this. I mean,
Both of you guys.
what color would you be?
There's only like a couple of them, but like, like the Silver Rangers.
Oh.
You want to be the special sixth ranger.
Blue. I just like blue.
Dude, I was going to say blue.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
It's like the one color ranger you haven't been.
That is true.
So video game kind of, what Power Ranger do you want to be?
Hi, I just wanted to ask any of you who feel like you have something to say on it. Obviously, voice work has a lot of DNA, both in animation and in a video game. But what are some of the differences in how you might approach it in one versus the other?
Animation versus video games? Are you talking about cartoons or anime or both? Okay. I think I guess I'll take point for now. Video games, there's a lot more lines. Like, it's usually giant Excel sheets filled with hundreds and hundreds of lines. Whereas like a cartoon, you go in, you do an episode, it's relatively much shorter. So I think with video games, you have much more time to really dig in, especially if you're like a major character. You do all their efforts, a lot of screaming, different things. So I think it's just that, and then with anime, you get the benefit that you get to see what's on screen, right? You're dubbing over it, that helps. Video games, a lot of times you don't have that. You're just using your imagination. Animations, like in between, sometimes they have, what do you call it, the storyboards and stuff.
Jumping in. All right. All that. Definitely with video games, like DMC, for example, it was a script. And so, just going to Japan and doing the motion capture, you're not limited to like the picture. Like the anime, it's already drawn out for you. So if the person is crying, well, you got to do your version of it. So there's not really as much limitation in a video game when it comes to that, because there's not a lot of things that you're following. There might be a timing thing that you have to say, this in this amount of time. The other thing is, in video games, you'll probably burn out faster because there's a lot of fight stuff, especially if it's a fight game, because it's like, you gotta do, 3 or 4 versions of this punch, kick, getting hit, falling, dying, being electrocuted, you're on fire, whatever. We've seen it all, I'm sure. And games, I feel like the games go sometimes faster. I even forget sometimes that I've worked on something until it's like Danganronpa 2. I didn't know that I was in it because it was like a top secret game and it only said DG2 or something on it, right? And so we blew through the script as fast as possible. And I remember things that happened, elements of the story. It wasn't, I saw this come across my table and they're like, "Will you sign this?" I'm like, "Oh, no, sorry, I didn't work on this." And I'm like, "No, you did do this." I'm sure I know what I did. I didn't work on whatever that says. And they're like, no. And they pulled up on YouTube and I heard my voice and I was like, "Oh, what's your name?" And then I had to go get up and watch some playthroughs, and then I was able to connect the dots and realize that's what that was. So sometimes games are like top secret. You don't always know, especially in the beginning.
Pretty much what everybody's already said. I actually think that video games, they kind of, because it's such a range of the type of video Western video game where you can do a lot of like performance capture and you know, it's essentially just like a on-camera game. Or you can have like JRPGs where there can be like a lot of timing and dubbing involved, so it's very similar to anime. But I think there's just a lot of room to play video games because we don't have like strict animation to follow. So there's like a lot of little, I guess, breaths and like little like imperfections you can put into your performance that kind of give it a little bit extra life. So I think it's
Let's. Always there.
Psych.
So you guys all voice in the kind of series, but I was wondering, out of like the animated series or anything, what would you like to see turned into a video game? Or it could be turned into a video game. And what type of video game?
Sorry, what was that last part?
And what type of video game would you want that series to be like? Or whatever.
Like if some anime that you're in.
Like a show we were in.
Yeah.
So like I want to skate the Infinity game, but like Tony Hawk. And that's like it's from Skater 2.
Man, I don't know. There's a lot. I would want them to do a Trigun game. I would. I just think that'd be cool because you have bosses at different levels. I also think you know what would actually be a really cool game would be Akira. You know, they built that world inside there, and you had that music too. Whatever. That was the drums, by the way. But yeah, all right. See, the Asian guys know because it's a very specific type of drum. Sorry, guys.
all Asian.
I did. I actually, it was the first thing I noticed when I walked back there. I was like, whoa. Yeah. But I think that would be a cool game.
For me, Delicious in Dungeon Cooking Monster.
All right, okay. I guess I gotta stand up. I know, I just love all your guys' work. Holston, Free Hogs, awesome work. Hikari, I love Hikari.
Thank you.
I love so much, I almost cried. Oh my gosh.
Almost. You gotta be better.
And then Unicorn Overlord, I spared you, Brian, don't worry.
Thank you.
You know our Tommy, I love you. See, have you been working on Rose the recap turtle? The new code yes or no? No? Okay, just making sure.
Just making sure. Is he supposed to be in it?
Eventually, maybe.
Hey, just look, bring back all my characters.
It's Johnny's world.
Hello, my question is for Mr. John.
Why does yours sound that much cooler than ours?
Yeah, everybody says I should be a voice actor, right?
Yeah, you should. I quit.
Johnny, first thing I want to say, you have an amazing singing voice, honestly. I wish it would give your album a lot more chart success.
Oh, well, we're indie, so that doesn't work that way.
Secondly, since I actually got that person before earlier, I was going to ask one question. I know you voiced both Yong and also
Adachi.
Yeah, Adachi, thank you. How did it feel going back and forth, basically having a conversation with yourself at most times?
Didn't go back and forth. You know, when I worked on the game, I only thought I was voicing Adachi. So we just worked on Adachi. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I was like, I'm just doing this one character. Nobody at any point told me that I was going to voice another character. Usually when you go in a game, you kind of think, oh, just in case you got some characters. But, you know, I'm like working on this thing. Nobody said anything else. And then it was like towards the end of the session, they're like, all right, looks like you're going to finish up early, so then you're going to also voice the protagonist. And then I was like panicking. I'm like, wait, how am I going to be the antagonist and the protagonist? I wasn't limiting my range or any of that, and it's me. It's me, guys. I'm the one. that the sound is getting screwed up on. Yes, it is, you know.
Yeah, number's fine. Number says it
If I
sounds
talk
cooler.
like this, then it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. It wasn't towards the end of the session. But then he was a protagonist, but he didn't have a whole lot. It was just like mostly call-outs and fight noises. And I was like, all right, I'll cross him up, I'll bring him down lower. So yeah, it was unexpected. So I didn't talk to myself, not until the anime. And then the anime, I was like, we gotta do something about this. So we had to actively separate the characters a bit more. Yeah.
Hi, so I have a general question. How does it feel? How does it feel when you're a fan of a manga or game company or video game, and then you get hired to work on the anime or game in question?
Oh, it's exciting, but you gotta hide it.
I don't know.
You let them know? I did that and I lost it. I lost it, man. I couldn't, like Thundercats, I went in to audition for Lion-O, and I was like, oh yeah, it's Lion-O. And I started thinking about it too much. I was like, I don't know. And then like all my life, I was like rushing through all my dialogue. You can't do that again? I'm a fan of the show. I couldn't stop talking. And then I totally blew it. So then, yeah, from that point on, I was like, dude, I'm a fan. If I like it, I'm just gonna like, just be cool.
Until you book it for sure.
Yeah.
Then you do whatever you want.
Suckers!
No, if I book it, I'm pretty psyched. Yeah. So I get very excited about it.
I think passion contributes a lot to any project on any side of the production team. So I know for sure it's just like if I'm working on the production side, I think that people, if actors that come in care about what they're working on, then that just makes me feel better. And I think we just have more fun overall.
Hi, hi someone.
It's so much Asian chi up here. Just can't have these like
Our power, our mystic power is just too strong. Sorry, your question.
Hi someone, I love you so much. Anyways, I was wondering if something crazy happened and like all of the legendary video game protagonists got recast and they were rebooted and they were making new games with them.
got recast.
And
Dang.
y'all were the first choices for who to voice anyone you want. What legendary video game protagonist would you want to play the most?
Link. Man, I'm still playing Breath of the Wild. Alright? I got a bunch of horses. Keep changing them up.
Mega Man X.
Ooh.
Specifically X. Or Zero. Like,
Hey man,
any Mega Man
that's my character. he's gonna take my place.
Shit, I don't know. Yeah, I guess the question is always hard. It's like, oh, if you could, because it's like, you know, that's someone who's a peer working in the same industry, right? I don't want to be like, oh, well, I can do it better than them. I don't know. But you both have such good answers just off the bat. You know, I'll be general. I don't know. Throw me in an Ace Attorney game. I would say true, but actual character will do. I'll take it. Why not? Sure.
That's why generally things are like, well, multiple people play from here.
That's smart. That's smart. Yeah.
I have a question. Rosie, how's your YouTube career doing?
Check your analytics, dude.
How's my YouTube career going? I don't know. It's whatever. I kind of never really cared, and I think it kind of helps with my approach to it that I've never really cared. So I don't know. Maybe it's panking. That's fine. Truthfully, I've just been very busy, so I don't have the time to do it, and that's fine because I don't care that much about it. I enjoy doing it, but it's not my passion. So it's fine, I guess. I don't know. That whole website's a sinking ship anyway. So.
What do you do on YouTube?
Stuff.
You do this? Just like learn, you review stuff? Is that what you do?
I know a bunch of stuff. Yeah, you know.
on now.
Yeah. With my glowing pitch of it.
Right, exactly. Man, I don't really care about it, but.
Hey guys, what's up? So my main question was for Johnny, because you actually recently revealed you almost got cast as the main character of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. So my question
I
was...
know I was cast.
Oh yeah, that's right. But
We did it.
They didn't get to use your dub.
Right, they didn't use our dub. Yeah.
Somehow 4 kids won the lawsuit. We all thought
Yeah,
we were all
that's a
losing.
weird situation there, yeah. Yeah,
So-
but like the Japanese company wanted to produce Yu-Gi-Oh! And they hired, myself as the lead and then a few other, it was really great. The music was great, the actors, the voiceover was really great. And I think the message overall was better. It was like, never give up was the message. Catabing was his catchphrase.
Yeah.
But then 4 Kids kind of had this weird, this thing where they originally signed over the deal to 4 Kids. And so 4 Kids, they rushed the version out. And I'm not trying to bag on them necessarily, because it was definitely more for kids, and they dumbed it down quite a bit. And the message was like, just go with the flow, and it's like, that's kind of weird. Is that a good thing? But what if things are really bad? Just go with it, man. So it's a really weird message, I think, for kids. And it was unfortunate that the Japanese company that created it lost the rights to this dubbing company. That was the biggest, I think, bummer. But yeah, probably should have said all that.
I don't think we ain't worried about 4 Kids anymore. They don't exist anymore.
Oh, they're gone?
So,
I'm gonna talk
yeah.
trash
Right, Eric Stewart, he'll definitely say some things.
yeah.
But my main question was, if you got a chance to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist again, would you do it? Like if they...
I would totally do it. Yeah. I think so. I mean, with that series, the character, the story, it had a lot of heart. And I just posted a snippet of, like a moment, and on Instagram just recently, just because I found it like when I was clearing out I'm moving, so I was like found some old hard drives. I'm like, what's on this? And I have like the whole thing, the whole series.
Well, you still own like...
I got it all.
So what you talking about?
Yeah, I got the whole thing, including the intro my band did. So, I'm tempted.
No one has to know.
I know,
We
right?
all keep secrets, right? We have
Put it on somebody's YouTube channel.
Final nail in the coffin.
This is for everybody, but is there a line that you ever had that you just couldn't deliver, or it took so many times and you just basically had to settle on, you listen back at it and you're like, that didn't go well? Like a weird line and you never that just
Oh, yeah.
any of you guys?
I mean, in anime that happens all the time,
Or
doesn't
like,
it?
yeah, anything.
I worked on a show called Mars Daybreak, and it was like this, like a water world, but with mech, and then the engine that powered these mechs, it was like this round sphere, and they called it a balls unit. So yeah, there's a lot in there that's like, this is really, you guys aren't gonna change that? I don't come up with something else? No, that's the way they want it. They want us to say my balls unit's not working properly. That's, and Steve Bloom, of course, they're very sensitive. It's like there's so many things in there that's like, this just doesn't feel right. But, all right. Nobody ever saw it, so no worries. Come on, gotta have one. It happens all the time.
Howard and I are simply just too good at
They can make the balls unit not working properly. Just make it smooth.
Balls unit lines are no problem.
Balls units any day. I'm gonna get paid for it.
Nothing's coming to mind for me, and that's my answer. It's not good.
I don't remember the word, but I did there was like a Genshin NPC that I was doing that there was just a word that I just couldn't say, and they eventually had to change it. So I was just fumbling it over and over real bad. I don't remember the word is, so that's not the story. That's it.
Guy, what is your favorite game that you played that you were also in?
That also in. I'm terrible at games. That's my problem. Yokai Watch I played a little bit of.
Oh, okay.
You know.
I don't think, no, that's not true. I played one of them. But it was for a sponsored stream, so I don't know if that counts.
Anyway, that doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, probably not. So I guess my answer is I still need to play some. I hear those God movies are good. I should probably check them out. Yeah.
Podcast Royale.
Okay.
Yeah, I play it all the time. So, yeah, I guess that counts. I guess I like it.
Hey y'all, I just wanted to ask, I'm sure voice acting wasn't in your future. What did y'all want to do while y'all was little? Like, what was
Wanted to be a ninja. And I got to be one. I wanted to be a ninja, and then like a policeman, and a firefighter. I wanted to be a superhero. Yeah.
You're a fraud!
I did. And then I started working at Taco Bell. Subway. I was a sandwich artist.
I think my parents had very high hopes for me. When I was a kid, I pretty much wanted to be like an engineer, like an electrical engineer.
You wanted to be.
Wow,
that's
But then it turns out, whoopsie, I'm a weed. I ended up doing this. I mean, I technically have my degree in game design, so I'm also, a developer as well at the same time. So I mean, I'm still doing stuff. I got what I call job FOMO. So it's if I want to do something, I'll just go do it. It doesn't matter if I'm already doing something or not.
I wanted to be a teacher when I was a kid, but then I didn't.
Just like general?
Yeah, maybe like, I don't know, it was something, I think when I was a kid, maybe like elementary school, and then when I went to college, I did consider maybe like being an English teacher.
Oh, wow.
And then I guess voice acting was really what I truly wanted to do, and I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. And it worked out, I guess. But I do have a lot of respect for teaching, and that was something I did seriously consider.
Wow.
Hello, this is for Johnny. How's it being the best JoJo character?
Well, hang on a second.
I'll let you guys fight it out. You know what? I enjoyed it. JoJo was a lot of fun. Jonathan was fun. I did wish he lasted a little longer. I wasn't really happy with the ending, but I guess all right. I'd like them to bring me back though for Johnny or something. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Technically, Jonathan's around. Well, his body.
Yeah, his body is.
His body. He's making waves.
Hey y'all, this is a question for all three of y'all. I was gonna ask, is there really like a difficulty difference between like voice acting for different genres? And if there is, what was your like favorite genre of video games to voice acting?
Oh, and the genres of video
games.
Like fighting.
Fighting, like the most strenuous. Sure, that's a lot of yelling. But what's the favorite? I don't know, just like something with a good script.
Yeah, you want a good story.
Yeah. So for me, I guess genre doesn't really matter as long as it's serious.
I agree with that.
I like yelling, so fighting stuff is cool.
Yelling, but it's nice when you have a reason to yell. Like, hey, you took my girlfriend. Now I'm really gonna yell. But yeah, it is nice to have a story. Fighting stuff is fun though. You get to create like the style of scream and the style of call out. It's fun.
When it all comes to a good story and to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hi. I wanted to ask if you get any like direction for the roles in the video games, and like if or lack of direction for different characters, and what that looks like.
Yeah, it depends on the director.
Oh, it depends on the director.
And whoever's in that room.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you do get the freedom to kind of play. Sometimes they trust you with it, and they're like, oh yeah, but you know what you're doing, just do it. And then there's other times when they don't, or that you have, I'll give you an example, I don't remember the name of the game, so it protects me in it. But there was a director I'd worked with and I trusted very well, but then there was two producers that I didn't know at all. And every time I would deliver a line, I could see them talking, and then they would tell my director, and my director would try to translate it to me. But at some point, he gave up, and he just was like, "Why don't you just tell Johnny what you want?" And so there's a line. It was like a short sentence, and then one of the producers was like, "Can you make that sound happy?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll put a smile on this line." It's easy, fine. And so I did. I did it all happy, and then I saw them talking again, and then they come in. The other producer was like, "Actually, can you make that sound sad?" I'm like, "You want the complete opposite emotion?" I was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm already getting frustrated because every single line at this point has been constantly telling me to do it differently. So I'm just feeling defeated, like I'm not right for this or something, right? And so it's sad now, it's the opposite, and I'm starting to go like, okay, wait a second, maybe you guys are crazy. And I'm like, okay, I can do it, sad. And so I'm waiting for them to give me beats, but I can see they're talking again. And then they come back in and it's like, you know what, actually, can you make it sound happy, sad? The actual direction that they gave me was, can you make this line, it was like 5 words, can you make that sound happy, sad? And I looked at him, I looked at my director, and I was like, you want me to have 2 different emotions in this line? Happy and sad? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And so I just went back to my original read. and they were like, good. So sometimes you get some weird stuff like that. I will never forget that. Or you get a director that's like, talks differently. Can you make that, can you color that purple? You're just like, sure. Imagine you're 8 and you're sneaking in to get a cookie from the jar. That's good though. I can imagine that. Accidentally be a good director.
A lot of different directors. Some over direct, some maybe under direct, but I'd say the majority of directors are
yeah, that's true.
I feel like it's rare where I run into someone like and not having a good time, but for the most part, it just depends on their style.
Yeah, those 2 cases, that doesn't happen a lot.
I think every actor has a story where just like they get works on like a certain line and they just end up taking the verse.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
But they're also sometimes shopping. They don't know always what they want. So they're like, we're still trying to discover what this character's going to be.
Right.
Yeah. As long as they tell you, you don't feel like you're just doing everything and not hitting anything. Then you feel defeated.
Your question?
Yeah. Hi there. Hope you guys are doing good. So over the last few years, you guys have done quite a few roles, voice acting roles. So say that there was any role that you guys could go back in time and redo exactly as you did, just to relive the experience of going through it. Which role would that be?
Go back and do it exactly as we did?
Exactly, yes.
I don't know if I'd do it exactly as I did.
The thing is, I want to go do it with the experience I have now and improve upon it.
Yes.
I think that'd be the goal. And people have asked, oh, if you could redo a role, and I'm like, I don't necessarily want to redo something because I think it kind of captures, I don't know, where I was at that moment in my life, right? My life, my career, my progression, right? So I don't know why would I go back and redo something. But, I mean, Johnny, you've got to come sort of return back to characters. I'm sure that's satisfying in some ways. You kind of return to something, give it the way you would do it now, right?
Yeah, but it's also, it is a different, iteration, or it's like, it's progressed as well. Right. It's kind of evolved as well, so it's actually, it is kind of cool. But I guess you're right, yeah, going back and try to put on the same suit.
Yeah, I want to mimic it. I want to evolve.
I mean, yeah, pretty much the same sentiment. Yeah, getting the chance to revisit some characters is really neat, especially like for, I guess, a very recent example is Sam O'Connor in Grand Blue. Like I got to revisit him a couple of times, like within a very short amount of time, and each time it was sort of, I understood the character more, and like just the performance and the nuances that I was aware of to lend to the character, I think it made it more enjoyable every time. And also, like, I like working with a good crew, like a good client, a good director. Like that makes it fun every time. So yeah, essentially we do get to relive, sessions and characters when we get to come back to them. So, yeah.
What's nice, I think, about revisiting characters is you become more comfortable in them, but it's also can improve your performance, right? So now that you know the character better, you're not just staying static. You are, in a sense, you're getting more comfortable and getting better with the character over time. So I think that in itself is also a fun way to progress and develop, I guess.
I remember getting played a voice reference.
Yeah.
One of the very, very first lines I did is like,
oh, yeah.
the same line, and then I listened, I was like, that's not how I do it anymore. That's not good. Yeah.
Voices definitely have to change over time. Yeah, you go, now that I'm more comfortable with it, I just do it a little differently now. Yeah.
All right, I have a question for the three of you here for like video games and anime, but I'm curious to know if you guys have any favorite board games.
Board games?
Yeah.
Games that I'm bored of?
I like how you're looking right at me.
Yeah.
Yes, for those who don't know, I'm a very prolific board gamer. My favorite board game is Marvel Legendary. That is my
Oh, wow.
You guys like any board games?
I've played a number of them, I just don't remember the names.
If I have to, I'm pulling out.
Mousetrap.
That's great.
I tried board of the 8.
The Mousetrap, how about you?
Who was, oh god. Not because I think it's a good game, but I have good memories playing with my family, which is Settlers of Catan. It's a very basic answer, but it's a time I spent with my family, which makes it enjoyable. I think the game's terrible. But I had a good time.
But yeah, that's great. Good answer. Hello.
Hey guys. So the question I have for you is, out of all your characters, obviously there's probably a character you guys like way more than anyone else. Which character do you wish got more recognition that you like?
Does it have to be in games or anything? All of them.
I think the show did get good recognition, but I think Ranking of Kings is underrated. And I was very, very proud of what I did for Kage. So that's a character that I feel like I do a lot of sort of maybe not as mainstream anime, but ones where I'm like, these are like Odd Taxi is really good. Delicious in Dungeon is nice. It's been such. I'm glad you are really enjoying that one. But I think Ranking of Kings would be nice. What do you guys?
I feel like I say it all the time. Kiba and Wolf's Rain.
Oh.
I really like that one. But it's an older one. It's a little more early anime, so easy to miss. Came on like at 3 a.m. or something.
I guess it's pretty recent, but I wish Hanabishi in Kaiju number 8 got to do more. I hope they expand upon him a little, because I love the source material, I love the manga, and the show's great. So hopefully we'll see more of them.
Hello, my question for the three of you. I was wondering if there was a moment or moments where you realized you wanted to be a voice actor.
Yeah, for me it was in high school. My friend wrote radio plays, and he just cast all his friends to do them, including me. And that was when I really truly was like, oh, I love acting actually. Before I just thought, well, that seems like a cool thing to do. But I think for me it was the actual love of the acting itself was through that experience.
I think it was just, I just enjoyed video games and anime growing up, and then when I realized, like, oh, it's actual people doing this thing, and I just thought it was a cool sort of thing to do and do as a hobby, and then I just really enjoyed it and just kept doing it. Yeah, now here I am.
For me, I didn't really think of voice acting, to be honest. I just wanted to keep acting. And, after Power Rangers, for me, at that time, it was really hard for me to get a job. Because I am half Asian, so I didn't really fit the Asian roles that I was being sent out for, Because I was coming from on-camera stuff and trying to survive there was very difficult. And then Power Rangers had a really bad reputation, as far as like, because it was like non-union, and so if I came in and they saw Power Rangers, and so they would say, I could hear them, oh, you were on Power Rangers, oh, okay. And I could see that look, and it was already like, I lost that. So it was really hard. So for me, being able to do voiceover was great because it didn't matter what I looked like, and I could keep acting. So it really was just to be able to keep acting, and I'm grateful for that. So I've been very fortunate to get into it early on.
Hello, just a general question for all three of you. Not necessarily your favorite performance, but regardless of like the medium, what would you say was like a very formative or personal performance that you say really defines you as a voice actor?
Oh, could be my first one, Bash and Trigun. That one really, I mean, that felt like school for me. And then when I completed that one, it was like, wow, I just had this wealth of experience, you know, going through that, good and bad, learning things, you know, and making mistakes and figuring out how to do things correctly or whatnot, you know, like that. That one definitely defined who I was as a voice actor. And a place for me to improve upon.
I guess my very, very first professional gig was doing bits on One Piece. So, and being like a huge, long-time fan of One Piece, and then being in a professional booth and working on something I love, like in a professional capacity, I was like, wow, this is really neat. So, I don't know, I guess it was kind of caught the bug from that and wanted to do more of it.
For me, the first gig I did was an indie game called Papillon, and that was definitely a big sort of experience for me. I think there's like a couple here and there. It's like, you know, Borderlands 3 was a very sort of big chance to really dive into a video game character. OKK was the first time I got to do like a cartoon. You know, God of War was, you know, motion capture, writing, all that stuff. So it's a very different sort of like steps along the way where it's like, oh man, it's like a new experience. So I think those definitely were very formative and might be helpful, I think.
Hi. I wanted to ask, like, you'll hear stories like voice actors say, like, there was like some line that like they got to like just improv on the spot and it got put in. I was wondering if you guys have any like stories of lines like that like you I think are really memorable.
There's a couple I could think of. I'm a frog in Power Rangers. That was a total ad-lib. Bleach, there's one where there's the lip flap. He goes in there, gosh, I can't remember, it's the visors or whatever. He goes in there and they're in this, I'm not sure, it's like this area. And they're like, oh, so you finally decided to join us. And it's like two big flaps that each goes like, and the script was like, no way. And it felt weird because like the pacing was like, no way. It didn't feel right. And so instead I said, bite me. And then, because his reaction was like, whoa! You know, so if I say no way, he's like, whoa, it just felt weird. So I said, bite me. And Wendy Lee was directing, and she was like, oh. And she's like looking at her script, like, yeah, okay. And they kept that in there, you know, it's kind of fun. And somebody had me write that today.
Oh, nice.
I know, it's like,
Not as an actor, but as a director, I worked on a show, I helped direct a show called Sleeping Princess in the Demon Castle. And for the dub of that, I just went ham and just came up with stuff like on the spot. And while I was working with Alejandro Saab, who played one of the leads in that show, we actually put in a Someone Show reference.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. There was a point where I think, I don't remember what the context was, but I had him go like, hey, Alejandro, can you say, I think he got the point.
My lawyers will talk to you. Oh no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't usually tend to improvise too heavily in VO. I did do a movie on camera called Blackberry, and in that one I did improvise a line that got in where I'm talking. Did anybody watch it? No? Okay, never mind.
good. You can check it out. There's a scene where I'm talking about this really like shitty boss, and I sort of like threw away a line like at the end, like that guy fuck you up. Not expecting it to go in because like he didn't say cut yet, so I just like kept going, and he kept it in. So that's still. Other than that, I guess should I swear? I don't know. Too late. Whatever.
It's like PG-13. We get one.
Yeah. One F bomb.
That's it.
That's the only F bomb.
That's it for the rest of the night until the 18 and up panels.
Hey, so this is for Howard. I was wondering how much you've spent on Ho games relative to how much you've been paid to be in.
You whale.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm doing the Gotcha Games panel, I guess. So you know the crit ratio? It's like the 1 to 2. You know, like a really good crit ratio is like like 1. Yeah, it's far more than that. I've spent more. Let's just say I've spent more than I've made. It's fine.
And working on it pays for the pulse.
I wish. the number of times, because I play the game and like I stream like a lot of other voice actors, and the number of times I'm just like, can they just give us free copies of the character free voice? But it's fine.
Testing.
You're good.
Hey, I really like Johnny. I really like sorry, I want to trade you, but I don't know you that well.
It's okay. I don't either.
My question is for all three of you guys. I'm sure to be a voice actor, you have to be really creative. So if you guys can have a chance to be in any sort of like story or show and you voice acted it, what would that be?
Zelda. Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
Yeah, good for you guys. Like, you guys have that shit on the ready. Then F it. Ace Attorney. Call me in.
Alright, we got about like 5 minutes left, so I'm gonna let them give you final thoughts. Anything you guys wanna just say before we go?
Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. I mean, yeah, thanks for playing the games and watching the shows. I mean, really, it's because of you guys that we're even really here, so thank you. Thanks for even coming here. You didn't have to come here. There's a lot of cooler things out there. We're just 3 Asian dudes. Video games.
That should be a problem.
Right, the 3 Asian dudes. We gotta get on that, man.
All right, yeah.
Alright.
Yakuza, they really do bring in like all the Asian actors.
They do.
Yeah, go play Yakuza games. We're all in. They're great games. Go play them. That's the takeaway, guys. Thank you for coming. Go play the Yakuza games.
We're doing some other panels. Let's give it up for Song One Cho.